Hey everyone, hi there. Welcome to this week's Facebook Live. My name is Shalini Joshi Amdagni, and I'm an international physical and emotional pain relief expert, and I'm doing weekly Facebook Lives to share tips, tools, and strategies to help you move past your pain and to more peace and clarity. And so if you are joining me live, hi, hello, welcome, come and say hi. And if you're joining me on the replay, then hi, Nita. So nice to see you here live. And do come in and say hello and where you are hanging out from. I'm here in Bangkok, Thailand, and I know people are watching this in different parts. So it's nice to know where you guys are hanging out from. And if you are watching on replay, do come and say hello too, so I know you were here. And our topic today is, hi Monica, believe in possibilities and lean into your dreams. So that's the topic, and the reason I'm discussing that today is because I've had different conversations with clients and my family. My son is we just finished applying applications. The first set of applications for universities went in yesterday. It was a hectic day, and it was all about believing in possibilities and leaning into what you really want to, dream about. So whether it's with clients or friends or even my kids, that's been the topic, and I thought, why not address this today? So that's how this topic is coming about. And so today we're going to, here's what's coming up, okay? Just giving you a heads up. So I'm going to be sharing with you a story about meeting my idol mentor. Number 2 is 5 ways you may be limiting you. I'm sure there's a lot of ways. I'm just looking at 5 ways that, I find people stopping themselves. I'm going to be sharing with you a few tips on how you can lean more into your dream, right? We tend to move away from our dreams and lean away from our dreams, but I'm sharing with you tips that you can lean towards your dreams more, and also have some questions that you can reflect on and see how you can change things so that you keep moving towards your dreams. So welcome whoever's here. Falguni, hi. So nice to see you here, Falguni. Welcome. I don't know who the others are. If you pop in and say hello, I can say hello to you. So, one of the, I don't know what your dreams are. I don't know. Maybe you have a dream about getting fit. Maybe you have a dream about branching out on your own and doing your own thing instead of being tied to a specific organization or a company. Maybe your goal is to multiply your income. Maybe your goal is to break free from your pain. I don't know what your goal is. But generally, when we think of goals and dreams, we are excited when we think of them, but very quickly we get overwhelmed and discouraged, and we have all sorts of doubts and fears, and we stop believing that that's possible for us. Okay. Hi Sonia, nice to see you here. Hi Papa. Hi Natalie. So what I'm sure you've heard of, if you are into any kind of helping yourself and supporting yourself and being positive, you've probably heard about Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And his quote is, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Okay, whatever the mind can conceive and believe. And the thing is that we can conceive our dreams. We do know, we have an idea about what we want, but it's really hard for us to believe it's possible. We tend not to believe that we can achieve the dreams, even though we have a very good idea about what we want. Sometimes we don't know what we want, and that's the place. The first place to start is to know what you want. But then the tricky part is believing that it's possible for us. And so that's what this whole Facebook Live is about. And I wanted to share with you my own story, which is meeting my mentor story. Okay, meeting my idol mentor. So let's see, just about over 11 years ago, I had discovered, I had healed myself out of my chronic pain and my chronic illness, costochondritis, using EFT, emotional freedom techniques. And I had, healed myself after being, months and months and months sick and going to doctors and trying all kinds of things that I possibly could think of to try. And then eventually I healed myself. And that was an amazing experience. It was beyond anything that I believed was possible. I never thought I could heal myself, when all the experts in Thailand, it's known for its medical tourism, right? It's supposed to be it's supposed to be a mecca for medical healing and all that. And so I healed myself, and that was amazing. And so very soon after that, I got introduced to the book, The Secret. And I'm sure many of you have heard about The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. And when I started reading it, I was like, yeah, I know what they're talking about. It's all about what, because I was having such amazing experiences that I'd never had before. I was not confident. I was scared. I didn't dare to try. I had very, very low self-concept, self-esteem, self-worth. And when I healed myself, things started to change in my life. I was getting contacted by people I never, knew existed, magazines and articles in the newspaper, and it was all, moving forward in such a magical way that when I read The Secret, I could relate to it at a certain level, right? I could see that, yes, what you can, what you want, your dreams can come true, because I had found my path. Not only had I healed myself, but I had found my calling in life, which was to help others heal themselves. And so it was a wonderful journey. And when I read The Secret, it was like, yes, it was reconfirmation. And there was a guy in there, in the movie and in the book, Dr. Joe Vitale. Now, what happened around the same time that I was reading The Secret and watching that movie over and over, there was another movie that was introduced in the EFT community, Emotional Freedom Techniques tapping community, by a guy called Nick Ortner. He's the guy who runs the World EFT Tapping Summit, Pain Relief Summit, and all that wonderful stuff. And at that time, he was just coming fresh, brand new. He wasn't well known like he is today. And he, came out with the movie. It was called Try It on Everything. Try It on Everything. And it was specifically about EFT tapping. And, in that they not only did this whole experiment with 6 people who had all kinds of different issues and how they overcame that, but they also interviewed different gurus in the industry. And one of them was Dr. Joe Vitale. And I was so kicked and I was so excited because he was the same guy in The Secret, and he tapped and he uses EFT tapping, crazy tapping like me. So I was so excited that, wow, this guy is also tapping. And so I got hooked onto Dr. Joe Vitale. I'm so excited. I'm, mixing up his name. About 11 years ago, and I started Googling him. I read most of his books, Attractive Factor, but the one that had the most profound impact was Zero Limits by Dr. Joe Vitale. And he was introducing, back then, 11 years ago, the ancient Hawaiian healing technique, Ho'oponopono. I'm not going to talk about it, but I got into that. I got into Ho'oponopono, and it was one of the reasons why I started doing constant clearing, constantly clearing myself every single day, many hours. My kids think I'm crazy. So I became a tapping freak after reading Zero Limits, also written by Dr. Joe Vitale. And, so I've been shadowing him. I read his blogs. I try to, learn from him as much as I can. And over the many years, it's been an 11-year journey. I came across many different mentors who helped me with different, blocks in my life, whether it was how to do marketing, because I wasn't a marketer, right? I was just a girl who knew how to do tapping to, overcome different kinds of illnesses, diseases, pains, and stuff like that. So after many mentors, 2 years ago, I came across another mentor Alex Mandossian. And he, when I was coaching with him, I said, Alex, I'm so alone here. There's not many like-minded people who are at that level. And I would love to be part of your mastermind. Do you have any mastermind? Now, he's a guy who's playing at a very different level from me, right? He's out there. But I dared to ask him after a lot of hesitation, because I thought, wow, he's with so many amazing people. And what if I could be part of his mastermind? And it wasn't a very comfortable question to ask, frankly, but I did. And so, he didn't have anything for me at the time, but he said he connected me to someone who was like me, his student, and that was great. I had a great time connecting with her, networking with her, and we were supporting each other. But a few months down the line, Alex said, well, if would you be interested in coming to my mastermind in Austin, Texas in June? And I was like, of course, and that required an additional payment of $2,000 US. Yes, I was already paying him a lot of money, but I didn't want to miss this opportunity. So I invested an additional amount of money to go to the Wizard Academy in Austin, Texas. And when I was looking at the list of people, because there were only 22 people that were coming to his mastermind, when I looked at the people, I was in awe. There was Dr. Ivan Misner, from the founder of BNI, International Business Network International, and I had been part of BNI for 5 years. Like, wow, I get to meet Dr. Ivan Misner, and that list was full of amazing people in there. But the one that just was wow for me was Dr. Joe Vitale was going to be part of the same mastermind that I was being invited to. And I couldn't believe this was happening. So I was so excited. I flew to San Francisco, and with my current mentor then, Alex, we flew to Austin, Texas, to his mastermind retreat. And just the very first day, we had to introduce ourselves, and everybody was standing up. Dr. Ivan Misner stood up to introduce himself. Dr. Joe Vitale stood up, and I stood up, and I couldn't believe my luck that I was in a room with all these amazing people. Something I'd only dreamed of and never, ever, ever, ever thought possible. And so now it's lunch break, right? And all these 22 people, there's not that many. So there were 4 tables of 5, right? Around 5 chairs per table. It was a round table where buffet was being served. And so, I was just feeling so overwhelmed, and I came and I was going to the table to get my lunch. And as I was moving past one of the tables, I saw Dr. Joe Vitale sitting, and one side of, he had somebody sitting on the other side, but the other side was empty. And so I quickly, grabbed my lunch, and, I asked him, is anybody sitting here? And he said, no, go right ahead. And I sat with him, and I cannot tell you, it was like the best dream of my life. I was sitting next to the guy who did EFT tapping, whose books have influenced me in so many different ways, who has written books that are and influenced millions of people. And I'm sharing with him my story and how I got myself out of my pain. And after sharing my story, he was like, wow, that's amazing. I use EFT tapping all the time. And at the time, he was going to perform live for the first time in Austin, Texas with his band. And he said, I'm furiously tapping and releasing all my doubts and fears. He was so humble, so human. He was so kind and generous and just such a great guy. I couldn't believe, I was sitting next to Joe Vitale, having lunch and like sharing and connecting like friends, old friends. And what was amazing, he said, I'm coming to Bangkok, Thailand this year in December, and I would love to invite you as my VIP guest. I couldn't believe I was hearing this because he's never, ever, ever, ever come to Thailand. So I was like, okay. And, that was amazing. And so that whole trip was like a magical experience. I come back to Thailand and I think, you know what, he's just going to forget about this. He has so many important people and he's just going to forget about me. But after a couple, this was in June, and about October, November, I start connecting with his assistant, Caroline. She's an amazing, amazing girl herself and handles so many different things for Dr. Joe Vitale. And she's, we were connecting and she said, yep, you have the VIP pass. And lo and behold, on December 1st, Dr. Joe Vitale was here on stage in Bangkok, Thailand. And I was, his VIP guest. And he actually said it from the stage. I'm new to Thailand. This is my first visit. I don't know anybody here except one girl. I have just one friend, and she's sitting somewhere in the audience. And eventually he called me up on stage and asked me to share his story. And if that was not a miracle, I don't know what was, because here's this guy that I have followed for 10 years. And now I'm on stage with him, sharing stage and sharing my story to the audience, to the same audience. Fast forward to this year, I find out that, he is running, he's privately mentoring people to be Zero Limits mentor. And since I was already connected with him on Messenger, Facebook, I said, Dr. Joe Vitale, could I be, one of the people? And, things unfolded. And today he is mentoring me as well. I'm one of his, in the mastermind, I'm one of the people that is being mentored by him. So, I wanted to share this story because it makes me so happy. Yes, I'm feeling really proud that, this happened, but I also want to tell you that this was an impossible dream. This was an impossible situation for me, that one day I would be on stage with my mentor and eventually he would be privately mentoring me. And we're still mentoring. And so, what are the 5 ways that limit us from going for the dreams, that limit us from believing it's possible, right? Is focusing on the how. Focusing on the how. We say, so we have a dream. We have this beautiful, exciting dream. And then very quickly that excitement like drops, it does a skydive, and we say, how? How is it going to happen? How is it going to be possible? And that how is the killer, because it seems so impossible that it just, pulls the whole curtain down and we stop dreaming because we don't believe it's possible. And so one of the key killers of the dream is how. Okay, stop asking how, because if I had thought, I didn't even know this was possible. He was my idol, and life unfolded in so many different ways. Yes, I did the work. Yes, I tap every single day, many times a day. I clear my blocks. I do a lot of stuff, right? But I still didn't believe that this could be possible for me. And I didn't know how. And I can tell you a million examples of when I didn't think about the how and how things just turned up, right? And you know, so that is one of the biggest killers. Stop focusing on the how. Unwilling to get uncomfortable. I dared to ask my mentor, can I be part of your mastermind? That was a dare. That was like a very scared ask, as my mentor calls it. You know, you have to be, if you're scared about it and you do it anyway, like Nike said, you know, feel the fear and do it anyway. And what's the worst that can happen is that they'll say no, right? But we are so unwilling to get uncomfortable and put ourselves out there. Even doing this Facebook Live, I had to like really let go of the fears and this uncomfortable feeling like they'll judge me, they'll make fun of me, they'll say I'm doing all this wrong, I don't have perfect, you know, speaking skills or whatever, I'm just a pain relief, how am I going to do the Facebook Lives? And so we have to be willing to be uncomfortable, but that's what stops us. We are not willing to be uncomfortable. Past failures is one of the number one reasons why we don't do what we want to do and go for our dreams, because we remember that experience and that experience and that experience. And unfortunately, like I was saying earlier, we operate from our experiences of the past and allow them to dictate how the future is going to unfold, right? But, you know, we want to, like I was saying, lean into what's possible for us instead of leaning into all the things that haven't worked out for us, right? It makes sense, but we don't do it. Go it alone strategy. There's so many people who I know that are still stuck in physical, emotional pain and all kinds of different things because they're trying on their own to figure it out, to row their boat by themselves. There's this mighty ocean, you know, that they have to cross, and it feels overwhelming, and you feel alone, and you feel stressed, and you have others' opinions saying, I don't think this is going to be possible, and we buy into the opinions and make it true, and then we're still trying to row this boat all by ourselves. And I don't know about you, but I have had 7 different mentors. When I, you know, co-authored the book, I had a different mentor guiding me, and she was an expert in, you know, helping people become authors. When I was, you know, I didn't know what the heck to do with my marketing, I hired a lady named Lisa Cherney 7, 8, 9 years ago, and she helped me move my programs online that I never, ever thought were going to be possible, but she believed in it. She believed in me, and eventually I believed it would be possible, and here I am for the past, I don't know, 8, 9 years online. My work's been online, I have clients online, and I'm able to reach a lot more people online, but I didn't believe that was possible. But I didn't, you know, go it alone. If you are going it alone and you've been at it for a while, get help, get support, get expert guidance for whatever it is your dream. If it's your fitness dream, get experts who are personal trainers who've been there, who've done it, who've experienced this themselves, whom you can relate to, and then invest in getting a mentor, right? Don't go it alone. It's too overwhelming and you'll give up. Focusing on the long journey ahead. What we do, you know, to stop ourselves is that we see the long journey ahead of us. Oh my God, now I have to change everything from my private one-on-one in-person programs to how do I create this online programs, and it's going to take so long. And we start focusing on the journey, long journey ahead. But we don't look at how far we've already come. What have been all these milestones that we've overcome to be where we are? So we are focusing on the long road ahead of us, and it seems exhausting, it seems tiring, it seems, before we begin only we start feeling, you know, pulled down, uninspired, like, oh my God, this is going to be such a hard, long, uncomfortable journey. And so those are the 5 reasons, and there are many more, but that's what I wanted to share about today that keep us stuck, and some of the ways that you can lean into, right, your dreams. This is what I have. So what if, you could revisit your dreams right now, go back, right? And if you're watching this on replay, you can pause, but what are your dreams? Health dreams, relationship dreams, fitness dreams, money dreams, travel dreams. What are your dreams? Revisit those dreams, okay? Retrain your mind. What do I mean by that? Usually when we have a dream, when you think of, I can do that, so many negative thoughts start bombarding our minds. Says, of course not. You've never done it before. This is new. You don't have the tools, the resources, the degrees, the skills, the knowledge, the certifications, blah, blah, blah. So you have to retrain your mind to say, it's possible. Don't say, I can do it. That kind of usually throws us off, but retrain your mind to say, it's possible. Look at all the hundreds and millions of examples of people that are not even where you are, no arms, no legs, who've accomplished the impossible. So retrain your mind to step into the possibility and just say, it's possible. We're not saying it's going to happen, right? We're not saying I can do it, but we are trying a softer approach to say it's possible, right? So you're retraining. Find different ways. Wouldn't it be nice if this happened? That's a great phrase. Wouldn't it be cool if I could achieve this? Wouldn't it be nice? So find softer ways to introduce and to step into the possibility instead of being outside the possibility and leaning away from the possibilities, right? Release and realign. So release, whatever is keeping you blocked. Release the negative thoughts, let go of the negative thoughts, feelings, beliefs, or the negative people that are saying it's not possible. People who drain your energy, people who bring you down, those people, like there's no satisfying them. They always send negative vibes. They're always in the complaint zone. Let go, release the negative thoughts, the negative feelings, the negative beliefs, the negative people in your life that are sucking your energy and telling you it's not possible. And then realign, line up. So you have your dream, you believe it's possible, right? It's kind of lining up instead of it's all misaligned. And now you realign with that dream. You align your thoughts with the dream. You align your beliefs with the dream. You align yourself, right? So it's all in one line. And the most important one is remember who you are. This, tip came to me when I was, when I was thinking of what are the things that I could share with you. I remembered Lion King. Remember Lion King? I watched it so many times. And if my nephew is going to listen to this Facebook Live, I have to say I watched it 20 times just for them. Please excuse the phone call. So remember who you are was what Simba is my doggie's name, and that's why Lion King is such a special movie in my head. So Simba's dead father, what was his name? Mufasa, tells him, remember who you are. When he's scared to become king of the land, and he's scared to take the responsibility because he thinks he is at fault and he's the one because of whom his father is dead, and his horrible uncle, I forget his name, was the one who said, you killed your father, you killed, and he believed that, and he never wanted to return to his kingdom again and take charge of being the king again. And towards the end, he remembers his dad saying, remember who you are. And that's what we need to also remember, is remember who you are at your core. You are a co-creator of your life. Co-creator, that means you are together with God, right? And with God, all things are possible. So don't think you're alone. Don't think you're doing this all on your own anyway. Remember who you truly are. You are divine intelligence in this physical format, and we are so used to thinking of ourselves as me, Shalini, me, this, and we think there's nobody beyond that. But really, we are a divine spark, the divine energy. And so that will be the most important thing to remember as you are leaning into your dreams and trying to believe that it's possible. Remember who you are. So I hope that was helpful. Revisit your dreams, retrain your mind, release and realign, and remember who you are, okay? And here are some questions I want to leave you with for reflection. So what's my why? You have a dream. Don't ask how. How am I going to get there? How is this going to happen? How am I going to connect with this one? But focus on why. Why do I want this? Why is this important for me? And stay with the why, okay? What do I need to let go? Do I need to let go of some negative thoughts, some negative beliefs, some negative people in my life? Where can I get support? Don't try to do this all alone. And especially if you've tried it over and over and over, then don't go spinning like a hamster in a wheel. Get support, right? Get any support, expert support. Sometimes family is not the one. They don't see your blind spots as clearly as an expert would see it. And ask yourself, what can I do today? Don't wait for tomorrow. Don't wait for, someday, right? Don't wait for someday. There have been so many experiences in my life just this year that, thinking someday it doesn't exist, because it's not real, because it's, you want to focus in the now. Now what can I do? And maybe you can just take 2 minutes, right, to reflect and see, what can I do today? Can I send that email out? Can I contact somebody? Can I buy that book? Maybe it's as simple as going online and Googling something that you've always thought of, that painting class, that dance class, that whatever, right? So what can I do today? So I hope these questions are helpful. What's my why? What do I need to let go? Where can I get support? What can I do today? So thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope this was helpful. I couldn't read the comments, but thank you so much for joining me. Apologies for any noises that you heard along the way. I have construction happening, and there was a phone call, but it's not the end of the world. So thank you for joining me, and I look forward to your comments and to seeing you next week. Bye, and have a great week ahead. Bye, guys.